What's up, y'all? Thank y'all so much for clicking on this video. It's been a long time since I did a podcast. I know I've been putting out poems, but it's a different ball game when you're trying to make a video, like trying to come up with a topic that, I don't know, that people can resonate with or what people can like apply into their life and stuff like that. So I just want to say before I get into what I'm going to talk about, I just pray for a better world. You know, it has been going down right now in the Middle East, and not just in the Middle East, but like, I can say so much, but right now we're seeing a domino effect of humanity, and like how if we allow inhumane things to happen, more inhumane things can occur. So what's going on right now in the Middle East is just a reflection of, I don't know, the collapse of morality, the collapse of what's right and what's wrong. But, you know, I'm just somebody who's just trying to bring in awareness. So a lot of my, people be telling me that, why I don't talk about a subject that's less sensitive. A lot of my poems or a lot of my podcasts are about fucked up shit going on in the world. But it's just like, how can I not talk about these important things? But just want to move on. I just want to say that I hope every single individual who's watching this right now is doing good, better than good, to be honest. Like, I know a lot of times when someone says, how you doing, you say good. We always use that word good as a way to like hide all the feelings and hide all the emotions that we're really going through.
Completely 100% fine.
So I just hope you guys are doing peaceful, because peace to me is more important than anything else right now at this moment. Human beings, what do we seek? We seek security and we seek peace.
Seek help.
How can we have peace if, there's just so much stuff going on, everybody has their own story, everybody has their own clashing. But yeah, peace to me is like, you can't buy peace. You can only cultivate it, and you can only learn the ways to develop peace in your life, because peace is not a transaction. It's something that takes time. It's something that takes experience. It's just something that takes a lot out of you. So today's podcast is going to be talking about the 4 Agreements. It's a book that somebody actually referred to me at work, and it's really interesting because it talks about how our whole life, since from we were born, people or society has tried to convince us of certain agreements and certain belief systems that we have to like implement into our own life. So I hope this resonates with a lot of y'all. So the book is called The 4 Agreements. It's right here. I started reading it. It's really good, by Don Miguel Ruiz. Very interesting author. So not gonna waste any time. Just want to get straight into what I'm gonna break down to you guys right now. What you are seeing and hearing right now is nothing but a dream. Like me even talking, me even having a podcast, me even like doing poetry. It's a dream. It's my dream, And like you're dreaming at this moment right now, even when your brain is awake, like wherever we are, whatever we're doing, we're consistently dreaming in our mind, So before we were born, the humans before us created a big outside dream that we will call society's dream, or the dream of the planet. So the dream of the planet includes all of society's rules, its beliefs, its laws, its religions, its different cultures and ways to be, its governments, schools, social events, and holidays. The outside dream has so many rules that when a new human is born, we hook that child's attention and introduce these rules into their mind. As children, we didn't have the opportunity to choose our beliefs, but we agreed with the information that was passed to us from the dream of the planet by other humans. In the book, he titles it The Domestication of Humans, just like how we domesticate a cat or a dog or something like that. So there's a domestication of humans. There's this process that is ongoing and continuously going to happen until the end of time. So we pretty much trust what we believe, and our beliefs pretty much set us up for failure. So, there's good beliefs and there's bad beliefs. So I'm not trying to say all beliefs set us up for suffering, but the beliefs that have been inputted upon us by our society can set us up for suffering. So in the dream of the planet, it is normal for humans to suffer, to live in fear, and to create emotional dramas. So our personal dream can be an ongoing nightmare. So, and as soon as we feel like we are uncomfortable, we usually give up on our dreams, because dreams are going to be uncomfortable to achieve. Some people might achieve their dream with ease. Some people might achieve their dream with bliss, but oftentimes to achieve something beautiful, it takes a lot of suffering. And, you know, we're taught that if we're suffering, it's not the right route, you know? It's really interesting, these things. So we're always like suffering or living in this state of fear. And I think like 7 podcasts ago, I talked about how fear pretty much stands for false evidence appearing real. I just love reminding people that, because we're assuming things that are not there, you know, and we're manifesting that into our life.
Fear is the mind killer.
He pretty much says in this book that we don't have to dream a nightmare. We can dream, you know, a pleasant dream. We can dream of something that it's going to cause us more satisfaction than dissatisfaction.
Satisfaction guaranteed, but results may vary.
There are thousands of agreements that you have made with yourself, with other people, with God, with society, with your parents, with your spouse, with your children. Just goes on and on. But the most important agreements are the one you make with yourself. In these agreements, you tell yourself who you are, what you feel, what you believe, and how to behave. So this hit home for me because when I was in middle school, I'm Bret Hart.
Get ready. You know what I'm saying?
I was having an identity crisis. I was like hearing all these thoughts in my head, like do this, do that, fit in with this group, fit in with that group, you know, look like this, look like that, behave like this, behave like that.
You just want to fit in.
And I was really, everybody knew me as like the happy dude, you know, like I was always smiling, but deep down inside there was a battle going on. And I didn't know that I was having a battle with my agreements, you know, because I was taught, you know, a belief system, you know, growing up. And I feel like in society, it was just going against what I believed in. And I didn't know that that friction was due to that, was like me going against what I was taught, you know, stuff like that. I can go on and on about it, but I just want to keep this podcast short. So one single agreement is not such a problem, but we have many agreements that make us suffer, that make us fail in life. So pretty much, if you want to live a life of joy and fulfillment, you have to find the courage to break those agreements that are fear-based and those that claim your personal power. Because we all have power, you know, like God has given us all the power to just to make it to the top if we really choose to. But a lot of us just want to stay at the bottom, or we assume that our environment around us is crippling us and is preventing us from climbing. So you just need a very strong will in order to adopt the 4 agreements. But if you can begin to live your life with these agreements that I'm going to talk to you right now about, the transformation in your life can be amazing. And I know it will be amazing if you really adopt these agreements. So agreement 1 is to be impeccable with your words. So the word is your power of creation, and that power can be used in more than one direction. One direction is impeccability, where the word creates a beautiful story, your personal heaven on earth. The other direction is the misuse of the word, where the word destroys everything around you and creates your personal hell. I just find it interesting that, like, you know, God gives us the ability to live in a heaven mind state. And it's also unfortunate that we can also live in a hell mind state.
What the hell are you talking about?
I always try to stay in the heaven state of mind, always. The word as a symbol has the magic and power of creation because it can reproduce an image, an idea, a feeling, or an entire story in your imagination. Like, for example, one thing that was really interesting, they said just by saying 2 words, the Godfather, what appears in your mind, right? Like, just saying, some people probably watched the movie, but some people haven't. But as soon as you hear the 2 words, the Godfather, you already like automatically assume of the movie and like certain clips and stuff like that. So that just is an example of the magic of your mind, like how certain words can trigger imagination. It can trigger like all these memories and stuff like that. So one thing I also wanted to include was that to truly be perfect with your words is never to turn the power of your words against you, When you're impeccable with your word, you never betray yourself. You never use the term to spread emotional poison by spreading rumors about other people or by yourself. So also wanted to talk about what the author pretty much brings up in the book. He pretty much tells us to truly be perfect with your words. It's never to turn the power of your words against you. When you're impeccable with your word, you never betray yourself. You never use the term to spread emotional poison by spreading rumors about other people or about yourself. In today's media, all we see is gossiping. Well, most of the time, we see a lot of people gossiping about other people.
I don't listen to rumors.
And like, what do you see today, like all in Hollywood and the majority of our social media outlets? There's a lot of people gossiping, a lot of people talking bad about one another and stuff like that. So that to me is like black magic. Like, our words are the fruit, can be the fruit of black magic. And sometimes we don't even know that we spread black magic within our own family without even knowing, you know? That's why, like, in my religion, it's called Ayn, which means evil eye. And like, we have to be careful what we say or how we say things. Like, if I see someone with like a beautiful marriage, I don't like sit there and like just be jealous or envious about that. You have to say mashallah, which pretty much means like acknowledges God's greatness and what he can do for his creation. So we always have to say mashallah whenever we see something that's like beautiful or something that just like puts awe into our eyes, if you know what I mean. So yeah, like, always wish people the best, because as soon as you start, you know, using your word as a tool to like jeopardize what they have, it can ruin their life. So just be careful, because our voice and our words can really, it can create a picture or it can destroy a picture. Your life story is something you have written. Just picture the narrative you will write for yourself if you utilize the word impeccably. You will apply the word to guide you towards self-love and truth. In all of your thoughts, deeds, and words that you use to characterize your own life narrative, you will use the term to convey the truth. Keyword, truth. I know we heard that term, the truth will set you free. It truly does set you free. If you just really focus on what doesn't just seem right in your mind, but what seems right in your heart, it can free you from all type of obstacles and black magic and stuff like that, you know? Like, it really can. I know, like I said, that term is so used in our society. I've heard that like a million times, but as I got older, I realized that, yeah, the truth can set you free. It can really set you free. And as you can see, the definition of impeccability is much more wilder than it first appears to be. The first agreement brings about enchantment in your life, and the word itself is pure magic. Your intentions and desires come easily because there is no resistance and there is no fear. There is only love. You live a life of freedom and fulfillment in every manner, and you are at peace. You only need to sign this one agreement to turn your life into your very own paradise. Always be mindful of the way you use language and use it flawlessly.
He is never mind. Yes, huh?
So agreement 2 is to don't take anything personal, in which a lot of us do take things personal because, you know, that's just how we are. We're so defensive because, like, we just don't want to we just don't want to feel left out, or we don't want to feel like we're different from everybody else. But this agreement was very powerful to me because I realized that in my life I took a lot of things personally, and I feel like it blocked me from a lot of beautiful things. So it's just very important to talk about this agreement. So don't take anything that occurs around you personally. It is not your fault that other people do anything. They are to blame for it. Every person exists only in their own imagination and dream world, which is entirely apart from our own. When we take anything personally, we try to force our reality on others under the presumption that they are aware of what exists in ours. So we can't assume that they know what's going on in our world, and we can't assume what's going on in their world. So that should basically help you not to take anything personally, because we don't know what's going on. We only see the byproduct of people's experiences, of their behaviors and stuff like that. So I'm not saying we can't keep them accountable, but just learn how to just not judge others for their actions, even though we want to judge them. We just know that people are going through shit, you know, and we're going through stuff as well. So just don't take anything personally. It has nothing to do with you, even in the situations that seem extremely personal or when people openly attack you. Their actions, words, and beliefs are all based on agreements that they have made with themselves. These predators or these dark magicians find it simple to prey on those who take things personally. So he pretty much saying that if you take things personally, you're more vulnerable to those who can do black magic upon you. If you take things personally, you pretty much swallow whatever poison's around you. So if you don't want to be like taken over by all this society's poison, you just have to learn to not take things personally. Again, they can simply hook you with one small viewpoint and just feed you that poison. So like, be careful, truly be careful. Third agreement, do not make assumptions. Do you realize that nearly everything you say to yourself is an assumption?
We should not make any assumptions.
People have an incredibly vivid imagination that allows them to think upon an infinite number of concepts and scenarios. We hear the voices of the symbols in our minds. We begin to imagine what other people are doing, thinking, and saying about us, and we start to make up stories in our minds. We pretty much fabricate this narrative that is limited to ourselves, yet we hold on to it to be true. So like the whole law of attraction, what you focus on will appear in your life, or will appear in your mind and your heart and all that. So we're just so easy to jump to conclusions, to take our tale very personally, and one assumption leads to another. After that, we assign blame to others and typically begin spreading rumors in an effort to support the assumptions that we have made upon ourselves. So of course, by gossiping, a distorted message becomes even more distorted. So pretty much gossiping and backbiting and all that stuff, it's gonna lead you to nowhere, literally. So assumptions are nothing more than lies that we are telling ourselves. This creates a big drama for nothing, because we don't really know if something is true or not, you know? So that's also like another important agreement that I had to like utilize into my life, because I'm always trying to shoot to assumptions and stuff like that. So yeah, this was a very important agreement, and it also like it convinced me that I'm always making assumptions every single day. Last agreement, always do your best. It's pretty much very self-explanatory, but if you have done your best and the inner judge inside of you tries to judge you, you can answer with, I tried my best. But the issue is when we start judging ourselves, we tell ourselves we didn't do our best. So doing your best is probably the best thing you can do, because literally it doesn't leave you with any excuses. You know, a lot of times we could have done better, we could have went further, we could have, you know, just did way more. But that's when we start feeling all that guilt, is when we realize that we give up so fast and we don't ever want to put the right amount of effort to get what we want. But with time, if you put in your best effort, the bad habits of taking things personally, misusing your word, and drawing assumptions will get weaker and less common. However, don't expect to always be perfect with your word. Your routines are too deeply ingrained in your thoughts and too powerful. And last but not least, you shouldn't count on never making another assumption, because I'm telling you, assumptions, to me, it's like a seed of the devil. He just makes you assume things. He's always making it seem like you're incapable of doing things.